minimum, and we'll see who comes away with one.
Yeah, more than a third extra to pile on if you can get that top spot coming out for the Dokkaebi. But keep yourselves safe, and actually Tim will take back what I said. I know they said they were the quickest team, but here they're really struggling to even get inside the building in the first place. Down with the kill from below, and as I mentioned, Rorik still lives.
Yeah, really easy for Dan there. I think just unaware of his presence underneath, and they lose the Blackbeard. It's going to be, we always talk about when these shields go, they also lose the Dokkaebi along the way as well with users. So it's just going from bad to worse for Falcons. They do manage to find one back. Neko taken out. Rorik as well. What little health he had remaining has been are going to be critical. Solotov's kind of not in no man's land, but he's not really in a position to go in and support. I'm going to take out Brede as he drops. That comes in from Pasha. They can't get around the corner. Dan is there, and Virtus.pro will lock it down. Another kill.
I've done since this new roster came together. Just the aggression has been introduced to their gameplay. Like, when in history would you have seen Virtus.pro play the kind of plays that we've seen coming out of these last couple of rounds? The aggressive roam on the top floor when we were defending Invasive. This round here, with how aggressive they've been, he even manages to collect one off the back of that. That is wonderful. Dan starting out strong on the map overall, but it is just Virtus.pro running it here. They own the keys to clubhouse, Tim, and Falcons, they ain't charge back in towards site to try and defend here. Like, why bother? Let's see the feet. Oh, that's unfortunate for Rorik. Saw the knee, but couldn't quite see the whole man and thought, you know what, I'll try.
Tell you what, the Blackbeard can see a real nasty angle up onto that catwalk, and Skies is well aware of that. But as the nade comes in, can't escape, taken down by Doom. Nice play from Falcons.
Done very simply as well, without a lot of effort. Normally you see teams having to invest so much in clearing out a catwalk player, but come back to what I said about a minute and a half ago. Until we had catwalk control being lost, the rest of the players could afford to play out around the map. Falcons have not only got that catwalk control, but also dealt with these players that are scattered around the map. They've done a really good job of it now, which means the ones that we've got left are now sat around site. Pasha at top red, Dan and Neko are both inside of site itself, with Dan just dancing around construction a bit to waste time. Nitro over the top doesn't quite manage to find Doom. He is low, but this one might be able to go down unless he inhales one more bit of gas, but no. Finished off, now finally put down his backside, but here comes Solotov in towards construction. He goes, Neko with it all to do, hits one. Sounds risky going to the range, but he's got away with it here, maybe Tim. The clock ain't gonna wait. Is the cross there? Oh, he hasn't got enough damage. Leakafax surviving the shotgun blast and getting the kill. That was a little bit
in that player would have been enough. The other one's outside, about 4 seconds in Garage actually. Pasha managing to pick up the ash of Leakafax and then drop oil pit and start moving back. Are they aware of Solotov in blue? I think they might be, as Pasha steps out and gets a set. This is just, they're just farming him here, Des.
Well, not a lot of change on the side of Falcons, to be fair. Outside
this point with users down.
It's going to be a successful flawless round at this point, Tim. I think if this carries on, like Virtus.pro have just absolutely deleted them. Useless has gone down in the hatch. It really sums up the round. It's been very, very disparate from the side of Falcons, almost in a way getting a bit too, I don't want to say too big for their boots, Tim, but a little bit too confident they can go.
Rorik just going to hold them at bay with the clash, no problem.
I'm just so worried the Falcons have got 3-4 players all focused on main breach, and there's 3 separate players watching it. Dan being removed to get a shot and response, so it's not the end of the world for him. But again, this clash is just going to prove to be a little bit of a nightmare. Neko dropping himself away here. That's quite an interesting choice. Breed down towards Skies. Might be around then get over the line here, Tim. They're into a 5 versus 2. Rorik in a bit of spot of bother as a nade rolls on in front of his feet, but it's one to fall. Neko getting a kill from elsewhere. Doom onto Rorik. Neko's got to get an ace, Tim. It ain't going to happen, I'm afraid. A very good round by Falcons. When they turn the heat on, they get their second round of the half.
Much better. So they could well find themselves in a position. Nitro goes out, will be shot out. He's on the stairs, doesn't see him. Solotov manages to get it. Now, there's still one edge
left to be able to support the Glacier. If they do go for an execute on the other side, though, they've still got 2 smoke canisters themselves to play with. Oh, this would get a little bit ropey, Tim.
I think it's going to be very difficult for Virtus.pro from here. You've lost your clash. You've got 3 of them playing basically hand in hand at this point. They're right on top of each other. Falcons can just start stepping in and picking them off one at a time. Freebie for Rorik on those red stairs, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to do from below. We're going to have Pasha picking up Doom. 3 versus 2. Plank goes down. Rorik could not get there in time, so the fight back is on. And this is a tough one to fight back into. However, they are now 2v1. It's all up to Brede on the rappel.
Can they stop him as the edge up goes off as well? Oh, I could have had a golden chance there as well, a matter of pixels, but patience being shown. Rorik really fancying himself a run out here. Will he get away with it though? Knows that he's going wide, yes or no? No, he doesn't. It's a freebie, and Pasha has now got no choice but to try and take a fight on towards Bride. Either that or stick it and pray that he can't get the angle. Oh, and he hits it! No way! I tell you what, if you're playing against this guy in ranked, you'd be saying, where are the red boxes? He just knew.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to take that chance, just preventing that further peak coming out whilst his man gets there. I love that teamwork from Virtus.pro, just continually challenging on.
Feels, but has to do so in good time. Actually, now that Amonte's bearing down, only Leakback gets him towards one more. The Monty now looking in a very, very precarious position, but Nako standing firm, at least for now. Pressure still coming on through. Where's that shot coming in from the back? He can't really get the support that he needs until he steps across just in the nick of time to get the support that's required, and they get away with 2 kills. Tim Dan was really hoping to punish Leaky Fat, but will not be given the chance.
Yeah, Falcons have played that really well. Nako, I think, just slightly aggressive on that one. Put himself in a really bad spot on the Monty and knew that he needed to try and make a play happen. I think he was kind of banking on his teammate getting Leaky Fight, but it didn't happen. However, Doom and Users do get taken out in quick succession, leaving us now 3v2. After Falcons have done all that good work, I don't know how they find themselves in a serious man disadvantage here. The diffuser is down, out of their control at the minute, so that's something Virtus.pro need to deal with. 35 seconds left on the clock is another issue for them as well.
It's exactly the same issue as what I was talking about back in the first half. It does start to become a bit of a problem, and that would have been a golden kill to find too. Maybe we'll have sealed the deal for Virtus.pro team, but now they've really got to figure something out with very little time with which to do it. Could well find themselves being shot in the back as they run through a corridor or anything at this point. Even opening that hatch feels like a massive risk. No shield to play behind as well. And the impact tricking coming out too. They've still got one more to go. Do they know? No, they don't. Bride's got one more ready and waiting. He'll take it away too. Kitchen will stay close. Instead of being shot in the back, Tim, there's one at the very least. But the diffuser is going down. Pasha has already hit one god shot. He's got to try and find one more. Will it complete? He'll see him a bit too late, unfortunately. Plant is down, but do they know that he's on main stairs? Long angle is there. Pasha ready and waiting. Leakifat with the right idea. A couple of shots coming in. Make it a third and a fourth. It's enough to push him back, but not yet enough to finish him off. 20 seconds or so with yet to work. Leakifat needs to isolate these 1v1s, but he won't be giving it to him. He collects one, and Pasha goes off.
It's now become about SI points. There are a couple of 100 extras on the line for winning these playoffs, and we've seen, you know, every point makes its difference for SI qualification. It can be
itself here to see who comes away the winner.
Just wanted to take the peek along those windows, see if anybody's playing on the rotation. They are not, but Doom does manage to find Skies. That's the Grim taken off the board, and Bees go with him. So much utility being lost along the way here for Virtus.pro. Now find themselves with a Monty having to fight with the pistol. Nako taken down. Solotov finds that kill. 4 versus 1. They're holding on from bedroom. Rorik does manage to take his man down. Solotov off the board, but the Nitro over the top of the Kiba barricade. Leakifak proving your point. He's going to be waddling his way up those central stairs. Are they aware of it? They've absolutely no idea of his positioning. A complete free before he manages to take down Dan. Dan almost reacted. Rorik definitely did react. Takes down Leakifak in a trade, and it's going to be 3 versus 3 as Pride manages to put that shotgun to work right in the face of Nako. 3 versus 2 as Doom gets in on the action, and that is a lost opportunity for Virtus.pro. But the fight back's on. Hang on a minute. Skies with a huge double.
He needs to try and save. Oh, Eustace has got a real game to play here now. Does he want to try and play this dance? Will he swing? Yeah, well, he's inside the sight. No, Eustace has won it. Oh, Skies. All you had to do, buddy, was keep him out. Anything.
Simple as that. But Users, you know, shows the difference in reverse. And
my only worry is they haven't got a single kill. They haven't forced these Falcons players completely away. You can just see 2 or 3 of them already. I tell you what, that's horrible. That is vile. Dan didn't even get a chance to see him, and Solotov's taking his head clean off. Zoom into another. Starts out that potential 3K that I mentioned with 1 for himself. Looking a bit rough here for Virtus.pro team. I'm starting to wonder, are they running out of ideas?
Yeah, the same angle that we saw Shepard punished on so long ago back at the Mexico Major. Through the pots and pans. Bride does manage to find Skies. Solotov, it was running away from Falcons for a little bit. They've been able to fight their way back into it. The shotgun does the job onto Nako, and just like that, Falcons
weakening them, but it isn't essential for you to get a kill for a roam to be successful. Just being out there and wasting time and falling back when you know drones are likely to follow can be enough. Now, Dan's going to start out with the entry Solotov, who, as I mentioned, has been having a really good half so far. It's taken offline. Leaker back into 2 for himself, though. A C4 kill coming out as well. Starting to fall apart once again. The Virtus.pro team, they've got to make it work, and UCC ain't going to let that happen. A 4v2 Falcons might be about to go up to that point.
Virtus.pro have just lost so much steam in this second half. I'd say the same for them as I said about Falcons to begin with. My criticism of Falcons was that the rounds being lost in the first half weren't necessarily down to the strategy, weren't necessarily down to, you know, they just weren't competitive in a lot.
Of course, he's a little bit more at risk here, June, with that Gurkha taken away. Takes a really high risk move here and drops away that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he was going for there, knowing that the wall blown was soft.
Left on the side of Falcons. That is a factor that they need to consider as well, but there is no smoke, so they should have access to that bomb site. Solotov picks up a beauty onto Dan though. 4 versus 4. Could this be another round that crumbles for Virtus.pro despite having the entry kill? Solotov gets a beautiful nitro onto the catwalk.
The plant's going down, even with Rorik nowhere nearby. Another seat, like, come on, boys. You've seen them come over all day long, but it still is not going to be enough.
The spirits were up. They'd heard the team comms. They were, you know, sort of...
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big surprise. It was a bit of a frustration point for both teams at points.
Be used for taking space. We often see it. A bit of a peek. It's too easy. It should have been too easy. June, what is going on? Pasha.
Leaning in hard and towards Nako on this Monty. Poor man might get to play nothing else on every single attacking round throughout this entire series. This ends up being a 2-0. And as always, Falcons just always have one more C4 to play with. Both tossed out towards Nako. The second one getting the deal done. The 3 versus 4 now for the side of Virtus.pro, and not a lot of time with which to work. Falcons so far defending brilliantly.
Yeah, they are just holding a skinny angle here. Solotov, he's not going to get any more aggressive than that because he knows that he can't. He's so low health. You can see those light screens just in and around, trying to create that area of safety. That can then pop up, and you've got that little bit of space to get in and put the diffuser down. So it is going to be used towards a direct plant, but they're not aware of the player underneath. And Rorik's going to be taken down. Pasha looking for an opportunity to put the diffuser down, manages to get his man. He's going to have to stick this, and the cover's there. I tell you what, that round went back. Going to be coming round, is he? Yeah, there you go. He's watching into. That's what I was concerned that again. Nako was maybe just extending a little bit too far, but no, the support is there this time, and Rorik manages to get that kill. This is way better use of that shield. They've been able to, oh, what a shot through the smoke as well. Brede manages to get one. Skars is there with one of his own. Brede taken down in a late trade, and it's going to be Rorik. 3 in the round to finish it off. Better shield available for Falcons though, so once that clears, he will be able to start moving forward. There's no nitros on side, but keep your eye on Leakerfag with that impact nade in pocket. That would be enough to take Nako down. June manages to pick up Dan. That's the Nomad gone. I would imagine air jabs should have been deployed by now. Utility-wise, it shouldn't be a problem, but manpower will be. 45 seconds left to go. We see another Rower barricade being sent in there to prevent access into bathroom, but I tell you what, you can just peek around the corners, guys. Does take users, though.
They can recover him as well, like, because of that Rower that's down on the doorway. No one can swing in and be aggressive here. So sure enough, Rorik gets recovered. We're back into a 3 versus 3. They still need top floor controller. They do not have enough. And they've got the right idea because there is still one player, Brede, sat just across from them. Oh, they're giving him the respect that he needs, though. It's going to drop in instead. Brede being so patient about this. When he strikes, though, if they don't manage to hold into this top floor, they are screwed.
They really are. They're now going to see Nako anyway. Dropping in. Yeah, it's over. Nako's got no option but to try and put that diffuser down. He is surrounded, as expected, and just like on... I think it was because of the time it was cold, it was too late. So being thrown here, as you suggested, they do take out one bit of utility, but there comes the knight. They've completely messed that up. Users manages to find the kill. Yeah, they've completely messed it. We'll go back to that. Skies tries to put it down.
One.
There's the knight. They've tried to bait. This has all gone wrong for Virtus.pro. We'll break this down afterwards as we focus on the action, but the Skies is going to get a little bit of space here.
Oh, God,
manages to find the kill onto June, but yeah, it's done now. Skars gets taken out.
So this is a tutorial of how not to pull off this execute,
basically don't do this.
This has been an absolute car crash. Wow.
Yep.
I mean, first thing, I'd like to say nice try, but no. Rosies. Here we go. We'll play this dance all day long. Oh, and he finds you first, I'm afraid. That's unlucky.
Damage to Greedy. Leakerfat manages to take him, but they're unaware of the player above who just shoots all the pellets off. Big mistakes continue for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, dare I say, across these last couple of rounds, they've just looked wholly unprepared for what's coming their way. Falcons having the full run of the map, and I said earlier on, you know, Derry point towards a 2-0 for Falcons. Wouldn't have thought that back on club. When it was 2-1 to Virtus.pro, I was like, nah, it'd be completely fine. But with that, it's more the nature by which these last two rounds have gone that I start to feel a little bit nervous of VP here. They're just getting bullied out of the map here, and not even on gun skill alone. There's a kill for Jumon to Nako at the very least, who leaves a bit of intuition himself on show. Pasha gets one back, but how long can we rely on heroics from one player, Tim? I don't know, there's a lot to ask.
Not very long against a team like Falcons, realistically, because that's what's going to happen. Breeder picks up Pasha, and there's your hero gone. Rorik just moving back. They didn't even get the hatch open. I think they lost at least, it was at least 6x Kairos pellets on that hatch. Might have been 8. Solotov picks up the man, so that's the Hibana gone as well. Easy round for Falcons, 2 in a row. That Falcons do really well. A Nitro here, a Toxic Babe there, and all of a sudden he's half health and in a little bit of trouble. Second Nitro goes out, and it's again that chip damage done. Pasha manages to find the kill onto Duke, but Useless is there with one onto Skies, and now they're just starting to bully them onto. They've got to be able to find the kill. I think he's just screaming for a bit of help from Solotov there. It does come. Solotov had to wait for his moment. Useless finishes him off. They know there's one outside a bathroom as well.
I think Rorik's trolled a little bit there. Not gonna lie. He's been very merrily marching his way on forwards while his monster's been getting absolutely bullied. Nako, as you say, must have been screaming there. 2 players pushing in towards him, and yet no support coming in from his team. Has been sold at the river a little bit. And I was going to say, at least they managed to get things into a 3 versus 2, but now thanks to Solotov, we're into a 2 versus 2. Dan dropping it down to 1. Breedy. Time to clutch up big, my friend. Probably time to get that shotgun out and look to cause spot of damage here. Diffuser upstairs, likely going to be recovered in just a second. Which now means there is 30 seconds and Breedy on the clock to make this happen.
I think Solotov just overstays his welcome a little bit there. He gets 1 kill, doesn't drop the hatch that's right next to him, and so he just gets pre-fired off the
opponent's map pick and a 3-3 split. Now they get to attack Consulate, which they are
in a 5-1. Exactly like you said, I think round 1 and round 6 has the perfect examples.
50%, and that's across 26 rounds. So it's a really decent number of rounds.
Well,
They've just been hit straight off the rip with a Nitro. That's your hard breach goners where they try to push forward. So out go the Toxic Babe canisters just to try and slow that down. They're completely unaware of Rorik in his rat spot, and he manages to get one. Pasha on another. Breeder does some damage, but it's probably all over for Falcons now. Users left in a 1v4. Diffuser down, 58 seconds on the clock. Drops. It's going to be challenged immediately on this corner. Can't find the kill. Skies gets his man, and that's going to be Virtus.pro taking that.
Do you feel a mirror inside, do you, Tim?
It's just a, you know, kindred spirit. Kill comes in. It's going to be Twitch. It's Leakerfat picking up Mirror. What are the chances? Rorik gets taken down. You know, so long as Leakerfat's having a good time, maybe Mirror will be happy. We're going to see the pocket EMP come out. Oh no, it'll be the Thatcher actually that's going to take that down. Going to give an opportunity to get that wall breach. Dan does find a kill as well as popping a auto canister on the wall, so he's stopping the breaching. He's finding the kills. He's doing everything right now. Breeder manages to find Nako though. Falcons starting to get aggressive. Skies with 1, but Solotov with the answer. There's the trade. 3 versus 2. 10 seconds left to go. Falcons, they need to make a move. They need to get it done. Breeder's putting the diffuser down. Pasha's trying to fight his way back in. Dan was down but not out. That's going to be a round closed out.
Trying to make a play just happen on site itself, and Dan is the one ready, able to defend, and there comes the flank coming on through. Rorik nearly messing that one up, but no, 1 kill goes his way. A second to Pasha. Breeder trades at least 1 back. Dan is still here. Surely they know now that they certainly do. Oh, he's being locked in. Breeder taking a bit of damage, and Dan's a little bit better in the moment. Pasha good for another. Skies to close out. Virtus.pro, they hold their ground and give nothing to
So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. The defenders do need to be careful here though, because once this wall gets opened up, obviously that's the time to leave, but they've been cut off. That's what I was saying they needed to be careful about, and that was all. So is that going to prove to be too costly? Solotov seeing his opportunity, but just looking at the wrong point as Dan goes for the repeat and finds his man. 4 versus 4.
Smartest memories in through, and here we go from long range in for the top rope. It's leaking back in towards sight, but Can he find the kills at the back of it? Yes, he can. Pasha, uncharacteristic shot being missed by him. Now means the backside is exposed, but no. Covered out there from Skies, gets rid of Leaky back. Either way, still not in a good spot. That is a brilliant smoke. We'll finish off Brede. June was taking a good chunk of damage at the same time. The fire from Naqo was raining on down Tim, and this is where utility starts to come into its own. They can waste a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, they're just going to have to look for the kills here realistically, but look at how low health they are. It's going to be up to June. We said, no, it's users, sorry, last left alive. Naqo has 4 more Shamika canisters and they would do the job, but he's ready for the fight.
He can fire all day.
He can just hold mouse one.
That you get from bringing along the Echo, like, yes, you can still see those drones now. They're very easy to shoot out. They're not invisible like they used to be. That is an excellent little bit of bait at C4, almost finding Brede too, but he still stays standing. But to finish off that point, it's the information that's now going to get fed around. You can see one of them is even upstairs. They know what's happening upstairs without even playing up there. Sees the gun.
Did get in time.
Setting breach charge.
Scotch is chased after him now, though. No way. Right on the reverse for Leakbacks there for the trade. Not quite the end of the world, but again, you don't mind losing the Goyo in this spot. His gadgetry is already all deployed. He can happily go and sit on.
Worry about through that mirror window, but they're not going to try to disrupt that breaching at all. 15 seconds left to go. Falcons absolutely scrambling right now, but into the line of sight of Dan goes 1, goes 2. Solotov manages to get the trade 1v2. Skies picks him up, and that is going to be Virtus.pro taking map 2. Both had great passage as a play. I think that's likely to continue. Answers. The banning phase will come through. Falcons take away Bandit.
Instead of rotating over towards the top side to join up with Brede, they can get control of that side of the map together. Leak back underneath. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Friendly on friendly, fire on fire. Not ideal now, so that's it. Leaky back underneath, also still fishing above, and we'll get rid of the smoke. The first one in Pasha, not the end of the world. To lose the player, yes. The operator, no. In Sky's case, losing the operator is the big problem.
Brede doesn't look down quick enough, leaves his feet exposed, and that's going to allow Dan to escape. I was going to say I expect him to be the next track. He was in behind the desk in that power spot for the defenders, so it was Leakafac's job to try and get in there and get him cleared out, which he will do. Manages to find the kill as well. 4 versus 2 now. Access to the plant spot. It all comes down to the Tachanka, but
well, that's certainly a way of turning it around on the spot, Tim. Goodbye.
That really finished. That will be the final one now for Pasha, so he's going to need a little bit of assistance beyond that. But he steps around and gets one. Brede manages to get the trade, but how much damage has Pasha done there?
But also because that clock is running dangerously low.
Needs to be careful here. Doom takes a tickle of damage, but will do a lot more in return. Manages to find a nice headshot onto Skies. Is there another for him? Dan needs to be careful, taking a little bit of damage on this army there. 3 versus 4, 14 seconds left to go. Like you say, it's really going to come down to Naqo and these Echo drones. Doom manages to find Dan. That's going to be it now. Naqo doesn't have a choice. He can't really just stay on the drones. He's going to be pushed. He's going to be killed. He's going to be taken down. Falcons really ripping that round. I feel like Naqo's been a bit quick with some of that. I think, you know, he wanted the fire and the smoke at the same time, because I think he was worried about the Blitz just charging through the smoke if there was just one of them there. So he's, you know, had to kind of double up. Skies manages to take down Doom, and Falcons, they've just completely stalled out, to be honest with you, Des. They haven't had the answer to those top filtration stairs, and they've just never been able to get moving. Pasha manages to pick up Solotov. We can hear the boogie drone, but it's going to do absolutely nothing realistically. Brede manages to get one, finds himself in a 1v3 as he gets a second, but surely this is not going to be possible now. Virtus.pro, they know he's there. The damage is done. The smoke goes down, but there's nothing he can do. Skies with the last kill. It's going to be Virtus.pro.
I imagine now they'll just go straight back upstairs and defend
to aggress from, because that's where he needs to be.
And we've seen very much a 2-pronged push at the minute as well, right? One trying to come in through upside, one working his way towards Skybridge.
See the relocation of the shield. They haven't really dealt with Dan yet, and that's going to prove to be a big problem for them. He's been allowed to sit there. Skies manages to get one. Dan finishes off his man. It's 4v2 in the blink of an eye, and it's all up to Brede. Impact on the same people. Brede getting aggressive here, but He's going to be held at bay for the time being, but manages to drop that shield, find the kill. That's going to be Naquo taken out. I think he'd already lost his shield, so don't be too critical of him there. He just had to try and make a move.
Yeah, times will always be the worry though at this place, right? Same as last round, they're just running out of it, and outside of a mad flurry of kills now, which they aren't going to find, it was guaranteed to be a Virtus.pro.
Extremely well, 30 seconds left to go.
You need someone to really be coming on the backsnap here, and sure enough, they have got one player looking to do just that. But you can't leave a Solus completely unbothered upstairs without something like a Thatcher on side. Now trying to go in for a plant, and they'll see it as well. The pingers come on through, and that should be all too easy. And sure enough, down goes at least one. Now you've got the Dokkaebi of Doom stepping across, trying to go for his own as well, but forced away. Massive risk here and trying to make this work again. They're going to see the plant going on down. This is all too easy, Tim. They needed that pressure upstairs. There is no one here to give it. This one is looking pretty cut. Will they get the angle? And it should be able to find it. Sees the one below. The reverse shot, though. Dan has gone down. The air jack keeps them at bay. Tim, they might have got away with this, but no! Rorik with a wonderful shot. It's a 1v2 for users, Tim.
Only one kill so far on there. He's going to have to put that up to 3. Needs to find himself a double here to hold on. One above. That's a brilliant start. Takes down Pasha. It's just him versus Rorik. He knows exactly where he is. He knows where the fight's coming. Users finds his man. You'd back him in a 1v2 and he picks the round up. Where Virtus.pro have really been on top of them. But, you know, like I said, coming into that 1v2, Users is got 1 kill so far inside 5 rounds. Inside, up to that point, nearly 5 full rounds, 4.5 rounds. He's got 1 kill, but then he hits the 1v2. And it's just showing how well Falcons can dig deep. They've come in here with an entry as well, taken Rorik down, doubled up onto Skies. We're going to have the Blackbeard looking to push and take a little bit of ground, but Brede has been held here for quite a while now. Dan manages to pick up Solotov, that's his support. And they are still battling over these filtration stairs, still unable to pick it up. They do manage to get the kill they need though this time. Pressure on the window does the job. Doom finds the gap. Naquo taken down. That's a loss of Yokai drones as well. So that plant is looking a little bit more possible. Pasha makes it back to site. No, he stays aggressive. Thought he was just going to get himself back. He should have done. He should have gone back. Doom takes his life. Dan, 1v4 becomes a 1v3. Taking down Leakafak. He's got a minute to hold on. He's got a plant going down and a call coming in. It ain't looking pretty.
It ain't. He's got to win against 3. He's got to win against a shield and in a post plant. This one is feeling pretty cooked, Tim, but it's now 2 multi-kills in the same round again, by the way. Dan and June both with a third. Look at... Brede? Hello? Hello? No? No, he's above. Like, okay, that's it. He can't lose it, Tim. He cannot lose it. He cannot lose it. It just can't be a done thing. It can't be a done thing. It cannot be a done thing. No. Tries to go for the nade rather than the gunfire as well, but now surely he's got all the angles that he needs. He's got to work something so special. Tries to go for a different angle. June will find him. 2 4Ks in the same round.
Always coming down to that late round scenario. Can they deal with the echo? Can they deal with the smoke?
To change in their defense, and what I wanted to see was counterbans. 2 counterbans that we see here.
A minimum 300 points and the opportunity to get 420 overall. So yeah, it's a big difference from the like 200 or 250 that they could get in 3rd or 4th place. So definitely a lot on the line. Solotov manages to pick up 1 kill. Dan taken down. Skies goes with him. Rorik manages to pick up Leakafak though. 4 versus 3, but Falcons coming out of that flurry of kills, the better.
Throwing flashbang.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. This has been, I mean, look, the games have been very slow, controlled siege, mainly because of the way the defenders have played the game so far, but this has been one of the most frantic. It's another one, by the way, where when we see Solotov move on to defense, he just suddenly explodes. He was 1-6 coming into this. He's 4-6 because he's got a 3K in the round. He's looking for 1 more. Pasha's got to get it all done. We'll take him down. We'll not give him that 1 more. If anyone's going to win a 1 versus 4, Tim, my money's on Pasha.
Oh, you know he's got it in his locker, but the problem is Falcons know exactly where he is at the minute. He's got to try and mix this up. He's got to do something that's maybe a little bit unpredictable. But it's going to be difficult to do so. He knows that there's one inside a bathroom. They just played it perfectly there, did Falcons. Both swing at the same time.
That's twice now he's got away with murder, but now might finally start meeting his matches, getting pinsed from behind as well. Lives again. Has this man got 9 lives or what? Yusuf's going to fall. Plaque now going down as Naquo steps inside. Nades forcing these players to move away. Will he be able to stop the man? Sees him and gets up nice and close, but the trade is there. And Virtus.pro, sure enough, Tim, they get over the line. Like I say, I wouldn't have mind. Dancing around as Solotov is taking challenges coming in from seemingly everyone, and now it's Naquo that gets to bite his head off there. It looked like it was Skies for a second, but no, Naquo just got in ahead of him and got the kill first. Now we're into this classic spot, Tim, where we don't have top floor control, and we're going to try and make this work. I'm a little bit nervous that without the Thatcher on side, this could be a problem. But Skies starts to explode his way upstairs there, causing a little bit of bother. This is the kind of pressure I was speaking about.
And it's a really big kill there. You mentioned the Thatcher being offline, so those nitros become a big risk when the plant is going down. They've just taken one off the board with Doom going. Useless is taking damage as well. That could be the other nitro dealt with. So then you look, there it is. So you look now and you think that loss of Thatcher is not the end of the world anymore. Leakifac's in a tough spot. He's going to be taken out. Dan finds Breeder. That's going to be the main focus now. Leakifac has gone underneath. This could prove deadly. They've managed to dodge in for the time being, but the shotgun will give him the option to open up the lines of sight. Naquo's picking this. He's not taking damage. He's going to plant it. That's going to be 4 versus 3. 3 versus 3. This is a bloodbath as we find ourselves leveling out. Breeder manages to pick up Passion with the secondary. 5 versus 4. Virtus.pro looking to get themselves on to match point. Rorik has gone underneath to try and hold this, Des.
Yes, and here comes the bullying.
Oh, gosh.
That is pretty brutal. Fair play, they've got away with it, and now they've got to worry about Rorik. This is his time. Has he played ranked today? Yes or no? I'm sure we're going to find out. They know that he's downstairs. A defuse coming in on one side, but does he know where the man is? No, he doesn't, Tim. He's got to find him through the floor. Breeder sticking in. Falcons are going to take us to 5 apiece.
So unfortunate. Taken down. Have they got the utility on site to play behind? I would argue that they do this time, Des. Skies manages to take down June, but you've got the Kiba barricade. You've got the...
His operators, Tim. Breeder is still alive. You can see that he's got those Yokais in either side right now. He's waiting for the plant to start going down. He could be what spoils the fun.
That's a really nice shot from Naquo. He has to react quickly to the Razor Bloom there. Maybe just getting a little bit too aggressive. Shotgun on the corner will down Pasha. Naquo's going for the plant. 3 versus 2. Can Breeder focus? Does he know? Yes, he does. They relocate. Can he find him through the smoke now? 2 versus 2. Yes, he can. And that is going to be the round win. Breeder picks it up, and it is an Echo. 1 compliment. It'd usually be 4 up there, but they've gone with 3. Breeder on the Solis. How about that? Guys opening up a barricade, and he picks up the Warden with a headshot. Who knows if it
goes? Of course, we've got the users on side with those Zoto canisters to slow things down as well, but the plant is happening, Tim. Do we see the Thatcher coming out? No, because he's the one planting. Not quite sure what he's going for, and sure enough, he gets killed. Why is he the one planting? Surely Dan's the one you look at this and say he should be the man, but now they've got a real war on their side, Tim, because the Solus remains alive. It's a 4 versus 2. He can see it going down. Will he get this angle again? Tries to go on towards 1, and Naquo hits the deck. Surely not like this. Finally, we'll stick it. We'll get down as well. Dan left in a 1 versus 2 to save it for Virtus.pro.
Just peeking around the corner, sees the first, gets him 1v1. This just became very winnable to keep Virtus.pro alive for another round. Breeder's there. He gets taken out. Dan wins it, and we're going to overtime, Des.
All right. Let's see who's the first to fall then. Naquo being on the shield, 100% going to be a little bit of a nuisance for them, but it's Fasha. Shows the tiniest little bit towards Solotov, who, as I've said, has been quiet throughout. And that makes me nervous for Falcons.
Yeah, they need to get moving here. They need to find a way to brute force a path through. Dan manages to pick up Solotov. That is not ideal for them. 4 versus 4. Skies continues to burn time. A little bit aggressive from Rorik there. Users was just waiting with his arms wide open, and he takes his man down. 4 versus 3. Nade goes in.
I love this.
So does the operator. Naquo's down, by the way, so it's now effectively 1 versus 4. Plant going down, and Dan, he's got to do something. He's got to make a move for his team to keep them in it. He's going to be tracked out as well. Asking an awful lot right now. They know his position. There's a shield in his face. 35 seconds. 1v2. 1v3, sorry. Surely not.
It is fallen foul of these shield. Oh, calm the friggin' hell down. What the hell was that? Dan looking for one more. Off towards his right. Does he know? Yes, he does. But the man has just about escaped him. The shield drops. He gets the kill. But my God, what was that shot, Tim? That was... Nice thing is, Falcons haven't had to expose themselves yet, and we're down to, what, 75 seconds left in the round? Still playing in behind a lot of utility. They've still got, I'd say that's the first Shumaka now coming out. They'll just keep on delaying this all day, every single day. Sleeper up over the top. As the shield has already stepped on forward, I believe that's Naquo up on main stairs. Yeah, he's actually started his march on forward here, and Pasha gets Leakifac. Nako really has just gone large and in charge to forget about your C4, forget about your fire.
Down, and it's now 5 versus 4 with Doom underneath, looking for that plant denial if the opportunity presents. Pasha finds Solotov, 5 versus 3. It's all falling apart for Falcons. Nako is going to go for it. Can Doom be their saviour? Very unlikely. Doesn't. Oh no, he does. He gets one, but they managed to grab the diffuser. 2v2. Pasha's on the plant again, but Doom has bought them the time they needed, and Brede has found the kills. Falcons in an unlikely situation. Hold on and get themselves to the grand final.
The two best teams in EML, clearly. When G2 is not here, I think it's kind of proved right now. Although G2 was the only team to kind of go undefeated in the stage, I think Falcons and VP really were the one that were the most consistent. And honestly, what a way to go. 7-5, 4-7, 8-6. It's so close between the two of them. I'm just hoping now that we've elected kind of what feels, in my opinion, like the two best teams in EML. Although we'll still need to see tomorrow and who makes it.
Bellingham. We call him Joom from L because he's on the line with us as well to ask him a few questions about this game. Joom, congratulations on punching your ticket to the grand final, but honestly, we need to talk about this final round. We have the clip for it as well. What on earth happened?
That was just crazy from Brede, to be honest. I don't even know. They were just planting on the door, and then Brede just killed everyone. I was like hoping for Brede to stay alive, and he just clutched up the round. Fucking insane.
He kills like. Did you injure the guy planting initially?
I think I injured the guy planting from below because we had the call-out planting on the door.
Yeah, and you were looking at the default plant spot the whole time before that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was insane.
So it was crazy. Crazy from Brede.
That was insane. I think he kills the first guy CC, and then he turns, and you've injured one guy, and as they cross to go plant, he kills 2 other ones. He was very often the last alive, both in attack and defense. I guess that's what you get from playing such a game in a late round. Did you expect to have so many of these rounds being played in the last 20 seconds?
Yeah, of course. It's VP.
yeah, it hasn't changed, right? The win condition
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. It's still the same old VP.
Doom, I actually wanted to ask you about that. You know, you said same old VP. Obviously, we have seen some new stuff from them. We've seen Nako on the shields, particularly. But that isn't something that you targeted today. What was the reason for that? You went with some different bans, often the Breaches, for example.
We were just trying out new stuff, to be honest. We knew it's not like the most important game to win. We still tried our best, obviously, but we were just trying out new stuff. We were just playing to have fun and obviously to make the final. And just VP does the same all the time, so it just worked.
And Joom, just looking at your stage performance overall as a team, you guys won 5 games, you lost 4, it was quite close, and then you go into playoffs and it's only 2-1s and it's only super close. Do you feel like being basically battle tested, right? Going through, scraping your way, yet you're in grand finals. Do you think that losing that much has taught you to be a better team, that teams that maybe have been a little bit more dominating?
Definitely. I think losing every time we learn something new. So I don't even mind losing if it's like not an important game. And I think that made like actually realize how we need to play in the playoffs. And obviously best of 3, we're just better. So.
And then speaking of tomorrow's game, do you think there's a chance you're playing Virtus.pro again?
Probably. Probably.
So
wouldn't surprise me.
What have you learned from this game that obviously you didn't lose? What have you learned then to try and make it a little bit less close tomorrow?
Honestly, we just lost a lot of rounds. Also, for me on Consulate, there was like 3 kills. I should have gotten literal freebies. I was just whiffing just gunfights. So
was that one of them a spawn peak, Doom?
Oh yeah, the first round. You probably saw. Oh my god, yeah. So stuff like that, don't make that happen tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Well, Doom, thank you so much for your time and describing all of these rounds. We wish you best of luck in the grand final tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Oh, see